Well, thanks a lot, Sam and John. We're all looking forward to seeing Nuncio. He's in the eighth race, coming up here in a bit. Nuncio, as Sam alluded to, very close in the Hamiltonian. John, I thought that was one of his most impressive efforts. He was used very hard there and dug very deep, nearly fended off Trixton.
Yeah, he did. I couldn't have asked more of him. He certainly tried hard, and I was under heavy pressure to the half and didn't get as much of a breather as I would have liked. But you certainly couldn't fault his effort and his performance. They were both excellent that day.
Obviously, Father Patrick gets a lot of the highlights. Nuncio, though, a very talented colt in his own right. It's a beautiful afternoon out there. They've been going some big times. Is today the type of day where any records on the colt side could fall as well?
Well, they could. You never know about fractions. I mean, I'm not going into that mindset, that's for sure. I just want to have him, get a nice clean race and go into the futurity, as sharp. He hasn't raced for a couple weeks, so I think, if he can get just a nice race where he can don't have to use him too hard, I think it would set him up perfectly for the futurity.
He's never been worse than second in his career. Has he ever been beaten by anyone that wasn't his stablemate?
Yeah, he got beaten in the Valley Victory his last start last year by a horse that Jonas Surzan trains, I believe. But other than that, it's usually been Father Patrick or Trixton that's beat him. But he's just a really good horse because he tries so hard and he never goes a bad race.
And speaking of another good horse that you know a lot about, Thinking Out Loud. Treader Bob McIntosh, you guys have teamed up with plenty of nice ones in the past. Thinking Out Loud, though, just has a vicious late speed, usually on the end of his miles, and he's been in good form this season as well.
Yeah, a couple times he just had some physical issues that popped up at the wrong time where it just didn't work out. A couple times he had to come first over against Sweet Lou, and that was a very difficult task. Happy with his qualifier. Not very often you go 48-1 losing a qualifier, but still we were happy with him. He paced a big back half, and I think that'll set him up well for next weekend here. But that's a really strong group. You have to be right on your toes, and everything has to be physically intact in order to compete at that level.
It is a strong group, and you've actually driven some of other ponders for McIntosh. He's made a pretty good impact on the sport with limited book of mares.
Yeah, he is. If you look at his numbers percentage-wise, they're sensational, really. I just hope he gets more mares and a better opportunity here in the future, because I think from what he's shown us, he could be really a top sire.
John, it's always a pleasure each and every fall. You've been one of the perennial leading drivers here over a number of years. What's it mean to you come down here every fall and drive some of the top stakes horses in Lexington?
Well, it's just a great atmosphere, and especially when you get weather like we've had this week, it's just sensational. And you look out over there watching the races in the sky and that red track and a field of horses. It's just as good to look at as what we have, and as scenic. For our sport. So it's something I look forward to. You're always racing top horses here. I just enjoy coming back every year.
Well, it's a pleasure to watch you compete out there. Best of luck with Nuncio coming up in race 8. That's the story from the paddock, Sam. We're going to send it back upstairs to you.